In this video, I'm going to discuss ideas about the chakra system that I have discovered through decades of working with people in my acupuncture practice and practicing Qigong and meditation. Some of these ideas you may find surprising and very practical in your day-to-day life when it comes to dealing with your emotions and with other people. I feel like the chakras are dimensions of being, different dimensions of being, and they're set up horizontally, vertically, because that's the way we think. We think in terms of higher and lower because we live in the third dimension, and the third dimension is higher and lower. But the truth is, chakras are more like a vortex. And they're a reflection or an opening from the vortex inside of the spine. The higher energies inside of the spine, or where we're actually living at. Our whole realm is inside of the spine, and that's where we're actually at. And from there, we project out into the five senses and into the brain, and then we guess our way into reality. And I say guess literally. Our brain is locked inside of the skull, and it gets information from the five senses, and it makes a good guess about what's going on, and that's based on what's already happened. It's based on survival. It's based on what worked yesterday, it'll probably work today. And relatively speaking, it is projecting out from one of the 7 chakras. The first chakra, which is down in our genital area, is about survival, the absolute animalistic survival. When we're generating our reality from the first chakra, it's fear-based, and we look around for ways to survive because it feels fearful. The world feels fearful, it feels confined. Just imagine yourself confined into your underpants. That's the first chakra. You're down there and it's all kind of confined and you feel constricted and fearful. That's the first chakra. Now, these chakras are much more like Russian nesting dolls, in that when you move into a higher chakra, you haven't gone away from the first chakra. People tend to think that they're transcended the first chakra and the second chakra and they're living in their heart chakra all the time. Well, those other chakras are nesting inside of each other. You need survival. Survival and pain is what helps us to survive in this world. Because without that, you'll start stubbing your toe and running into things, and you'll forget about yesterday, and you'll just walk right up and want to give a big hug to a grizzly bear. So this first chakra is extremely important because that is where we learn the first things we start learning about life. That there's a certain need of survival. Oh, that feeling in my stomach means I'm hungry. Oh, bang! The orange stuff over there. How it's hot. That's all held in the first chakra. From there, we move up to the second chakra, which is just below the navel, and this is the realm of willpower. Now, I've read that it's the sacral chakra. The chakra in the gut is more about will, but my feeling it's the second chakra, or it's the first chakra in the 3 chakra system in Chinese thinking. This is our area of will. From once we get beyond survival and we feel safe, we start to exert our will. And this animal will is extremely important no matter where we're at. As far as that goes, I feel that the development of will is necessary for without the development of will, you're powerless to use the other chakras. And oftentimes people will move right up into the heart chakra or into the higher chakras without developing any will because they're afraid of will. You see this in a lot of religious systems where they move right into the higher chakras without, oh God, you got to stay away from that lower chakra because it's about sex, and this is the sexual chakra as well. This is our sexual energy. This is what the Chinese call our Jing, or our vitality. This vitality is extremely important. It's like the legs of the other chakras, and in between those legs is the fear is the first chakra, is our genitals. And they work together. Together, you have this fearful feeling of survival, and then you start to create will, and between those two, you create sexuality. And there's a whole realm of sexuality that is very beautiful. There's even a lot of beauty within survival. So to think that these first two lower chakras are bad somehow is a very large mistake made by many so-called spiritual people. The third chakra is our gut. It's in between the bottom of the ribs and the belly button. It's right there, right over the stomach. And it's about digestion. And not just digesting food, but digesting experience, digesting time, digesting wisdom, digesting survival, digesting what it is to be willful. The first two chakras come together in the third chakra, and from there we make sense out of it. We make sense out of what it is to survive. We make sense out of what it is to be willful. And the digestion or the synthesis of those first two chakras creates the third chakra, which is digestion. And digestion on every level is extremely important. Again, we have to go through that first before we're really ready for the fourth chakra. And the fourth chakra, the heart, is love light. And it's not just love like Disney. You know, it's not like Bambi wandering around all happy and nothing's gonna bother him. No, it's love light. It's tremendous energy together with love. When we take the energy of those three lower chakras, the survival energy and the willful energy, and we digest it and it becomes a synthesis, that creates this light, that creates this power, the power and vitality that we actually are as an animal. We then combine it with the higher chakras and they meet in the heart. The heart is where the higher chakras and the lower chakras come together. The love up above and the light down below. The love or the chi above us, the shen, the vitality, the spirit, it mixes with the animalistic urges and the animalistic desire to survival, and the animalistic desire to express yourself, and that becomes love light or becomes the heart. It becomes these feelings of what it is to be a human. It becomes these feelings of higher aspiration. And then it moves up to the fifth chakra, which is the throat or communication. So we're taking this animalistic urges of the lower chakra and then this love of the heart and communicating. So it's more than just digestion, and it's certainly much more than just will. We figured out a way to take that vitality and the will, and we've digested it and we've added the love to it, and now we're ready to communicate to the world, to the universe, a new vision. A vision. So this is about a vision of who we are and how we want to tell everybody about it. It is this communication. You know, communication is very, very important. It's the whole reason why you want to incarnate. There's no reason to incarnate without communication. Now, many people will say, well, silence is what it's all about, and you come here to overcome the world, and that's fine. Some people are coming from that, but trust me when I say that we're here to communicate our vision. Otherwise, why would you even bother with going through all the trouble of being a human being other than to communicate our vision? Then the sixth chakra is the third eye, and this is intuition. And intuition is a knowing. It's all those other chakras mixed together, and then through that we can communicate. It's beyond just communication. It's receiving. You're receiving from the world around you the communication of the earth itself, the stars themselves. Everything that's possible is suddenly within your grasp. That is intuition. This kind of intuition, or the ability to know, is really the higher realms of being a human being. But again, it's useless without vitality. So to think that we're going to overcome these lower chakras and suddenly just be in the third eye and wander around all wise, That's useless. That's completely useless. You'll just be an egghead. You'll think you know everything, and you'll wander around and start telling everybody what they need to know. That's not what intuition is. Intuition is receiving. You know it now. You have knowing, and you're receiving what others need to know, perhaps. But more than what others need to know, you're receiving what the earth is trying to tell you, what the goddess is communicating to you, what the stars are communicating to you, what the animals and the water and the trees and everything around you is communicating with you. And that is knowing. That is intuition. That is incredibly fun. When you start to have a certain amount of knowing going, then life is fun, because you're just like, oh yeah, I get it now. I see. Holy moly, look what the trees are trying to tell me. The trees are talking to me. The birds, oh, they're not just territorial. They're saying something, and I can hear it now because my 6th chakra, or my intuition, is working. The 7th chakra, or the crown chakra, is the ability to have cosmic consciousness. Cosmic consciousness is not for the faint of heart. Cosmic consciousness is not animalistic. When you start having cosmic consciousness, you are beyond the body. You better be firmly rooted. This is the reason why having the other 6 chakras in line, I mean in line, and you're really, really rooted to the earth, then perhaps you're ready for cosmic consciousness. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly terrifying. You're suddenly going to be aware of what the stars are doing. Think about that for a minute. Stare into the sun for a while before you start praying for cosmic consciousness. You start speaking to the Father himself. You start speaking to the cosmos themselves. You had better have your feet firmly on the Mother, firmly in the Goddess. The lower chakras are yin, and they're heavy, and they hold you down. Then you're ready for the higher chakras. Then you're ready for cosmic consciousness, perhaps. Think clearly about what it is to have cosmic consciousness. All you really want, truly, is a glimpse. A glimpse is probably enough, because then when you get that glimpse, then you can intuit what that means. You can perhaps communicate what that means. Then you can feel what that means. Then you can digest what that means. And from there, perhaps there's some willful feeling of what you can do with that higher cosmic consciousness. And then even put that into survival. So you can figure out a way to survive in a way that you can have ease in your life. Have ease in your life. Furthermore, these are not vertical. It only seems that way. It is more like a vortex. A vortex is coming from inside of the spine. These are windows. The chakras are windows into the spine. The ability to get inside of the spine through condensing breathing and to circulate that through the microcosmic orbit, that is what solar qigong is all about. Getting inside who we really are, seeing the manifest reality of who we can become, and then through practice, you too can see what it is that the chakras mean to you.